welcome back to That Dad Guy. It's October the 20th, 2023, and it is a fantastic week for mail. I don't know about you, but my mailbox was full. Now, a lot of them are some surprises for my birthday that was last week, so thank you so much to everybody out there who's remembered and who has decided to send something out. But all of this showed up this week, so you're going to want to sit back and relax. It's going to take a little while. There will be a few items that I will hold off for another video, as I tend to do. I tend to focus more on the postcards and post-crossing for this video, and anything that's philatelic related, I tend to push off to a video next week, so that's what I'll continue to do. All right, we're gonna go through the first 5 things that I have are my official postcards, and then I'll get into direct swaps and some surprises that showed up from viewers. So thank you so much. Remember that if you like these videos, leave a like, leave positive comments, share with other people, and make sure you're a subscriber. So those are the things to do. All right, let's start with the official ones. The first one I have is a World Postcard, and this is a World Postcard Day card, excuse me. This comes from the United States. It comes from V.L. Willis, and there are all the beautiful older stamps that she's put on here. And here are all the people that went to the meetup, because not only was this a World Postcard Day card, it was a meetup that she went to in San Diego. So thank you so much for that, V.L. Willis. I don't know what your first name is, so that's what I'll call you, because that's how you've listed it. All right, next card is another World Postcard Day card. This one comes from South Korea, and she has beautiful writing on here. Sang-an, I think is her name, and she says that greetings from Korea. I send this postcard with the post box. This illustration was painted by a Malaysian artist, post-crosser, Christina. You can find other country postcard post boxes for World Postcard Day on her page, which is Christina and ENG. Sadly, mailboxes in Korea are starting to disappear because the postal population is decreasing. Here, yes, the regular mail, other than in my mailbox, seems to be decreasing, but parcel volumes are still up, so we still have a need for post boxes. So maybe these aren't as great for that because people aren't mailing them the same way, or maybe they have community mailboxes like ours that have a mail slot in them, so you don't need to have the individual boxes as much. She said, I put a stamp and special postmark stamped in the post office, and this is a character from a very famous company. Most Koreans use it as a messenger app, Keiko Talk. It's Ryan, who is the male lion without a mane. So this is what we're talking about. This character here, and there's the stamp, and there's the nice postmarks too that came. You can see there. So thank you for all that. The great information that went with it. So thank you so much. The next card comes from Netherlands. We have a nice hedgehog card, and it says, greeting from Essen, a city in the northeast of the Netherlands. So the problem with these stamps, and I'll show you the stamps in a minute, is that it doesn't leave a lot of place to write, and this comes from Brenda. So Brenda, I'm sure my father will enjoy the stamps. I enjoy the stamps. Here, she's put them all the way across the top. This speed skating one is really cool as it moves. Hard to see it on the camera. And lots of other ones there too. So thank you so much, Brenda, for thinking of my father and sending some stamps. I'm enjoying them just as much as he would as well. So next card is a very cute cat card. This comes from Russia. It comes from George, and he says, I'm glad to send you this postcard about a funny cat. I hope you enjoy it. I do enjoy it. Very cute. There are the Russian stamps. Thank you, George. Next card from the United States, and it comes from Minnesota. So the card goes like this, and this comes from Gail, and she says she lives in Red Wing, Minnesota. Our hometown is a tourist town. We are also known for our Red Wing boots and shoes. Her husband used to work at the shoe factory for 35 years, and now she has opened her own business. It's a thrift store called Treasures in Time Thrift. So if you're in Red Wing, Minnesota, go check out Treasures in Time and give some support to this post crosser. And there are the floral stamps that kind of match with the card. Thank you very much, Gail. All right, that's it for my official ones. Let's get into some direct swap subscriber mail surprises. The first one is definitely a surprise. This one comes from Loudon in France, from Quarantine. Now, she is someone who watches my channel and thought she would send me a card. I really, really appreciate hearing from you guys. So she says, hello from France, and more particularly from Loudon, her hometown. She watches my YouTube videos every day and loves my passion for Canadian stamps and from my point of view, and likes how I do post crossing regularly on my channel. Don't change anything. Continue what you're doing. Thank you so much. I really like the stamps too. I'll put them both directions so you can see them. Very nice. So thank you, Quarantine. I hope that is how you pronounce your name. If not, leave me a comment. If you're watching every day, feel free to reach out in the comment field as well. But thank you so much for sending me a card. Next card is a World Postcard Day card, and this one comes from Lila in Maryland in the United States. And so she wanted to send me a video, and says she likes all the different subjects that I cover on my YouTube channel. And I always appreciate when she sends me cards and little parcels and things. They're not necessary to send, but I do appreciate it. I like the Ukraine stamp there for peace as well. We're looking for peace everywhere now. It seems like the whole planet is erupting in tensions over all sorts of different countries. So when we talk about peace in Ukraine, we're also talking about peace in other parts of the world as well. Yeah, why can't we all just get along? All right. Hopefully you don't take offense by this, but this is a card that it has come, and every once in a while, some cards have boobies on them. And so, yeah, I got a card with boobies on it. So I debated whether or not I should show it or not. Well, first let me say, it comes from the Unicorn Gang. It comes from Renee Lewis. If you haven't watched Renee's channel, you go check it out on YouTube. She's fantastic. She does all sorts of really nice cards. I never thought I'd get boobies from Renee, but you never know. I mean, I'm not offended to get them. But thank you, Renee, for sending it. She says, "'Tis the season for spooky nights where ghosts and goblins make strange noises as they dance about the lovely autumn weather." If you just came up with that, that's very poetic. So you did great. All right, ready? This is how she decorated it. We've got a unicorn. We've got the forever stamp. We've got some ghosts along the bottom. And here are the boobies. So we have some bees all dressed up as ghosts. Boobies. What else were you thinking? All right, next card I got comes from Ashley in Tennessee. She reached out to do a swap with me. She wanted one of my polo cards, so I was happy to send it to her. And she sent me one too of a travel destination. I don't know if you've ever been here before. It would be on my list of places to see. Who doesn't like going into a forest and seeing all the wonderful things that are there and the inhabitants? So if you get a chance, go to Endor. All right, maybe you're not going to go there, but there's an ATST walking through the back. You probably don't want to run into that, but you might want to hang out with some Ewoks. So if you are in that area, go check it out. But yeah, of course, it's a Star Wars card. It's really cool. And she says she sends them out to special people and reserves them for her friends and things. So I appreciate that I got one of those cards. And on the back, here are the stamps. Now, if you don't know this stamp, you should go check out Snail Mail with Smokey. He just did a great video today. I learned a whole lot about it. But the Statue of Freedom that sits on top of the Congress building in Washington, D.C. This stamp is featured in his video. And if you want to learn more, go check him out. He's got all the answers. All right, next card comes. I haven't heard from this gentleman in a little while, so I was glad to get a card. And it is a World Postcard Day card. And it is this one here. It comes from David, and he is in California. I hadn't heard from him a little bit, so I'm glad that he's reached out again. He sent me this card. And on the back, we have some of the endangered animal stamps. And the Vancouver Marmot is really cool. Vancouver Island Marmot on a U.S. stamp. Go figure. Anyways, great. Thank you, David. Look at all the people that were in attendance at the meetup. So not only was it a World Postcard Day card, but it was a meetup card. And we've got sponsors. We've got all sorts of things on the front. Fantastic. Thanks, David. The next card is another World Postcard Day card. This one comes from Jessica in South Carolina. And so, yeah, she has sent me a World Postcard Day card. And on the back, we have some nice decorations and stamps and things. So thank you for that. She wasn't done though. She sent another card. I think she has sent me, I should go back and check, but I think she has sent me another one of these type of cards before, but this is for my birthday. She sent me a Letterkenny card. So happy super soft birthday with the boys of Letterkenny there. And she says, I hope you had a great day. I did have a very nice quiet day, and we went out to have a meal the next day. And she said all sorts of wonderful things. And on the back, look at that magic bunny popping out of the hat. That's a cool stamp. And Snoopy on the top, taking down the Red Baron. Nice selection of stamps. Thank you, Jessica. All right, 2 more cards coming. We got lots of World Postcard Day cards. So this one here comes from my friend Lisa, who is in New Jersey or in Pennsylvania, depending on where she happens to be at the time. And so she sent this. She went off to a World Postcard Day event and a sticker event. There are all the people that attended. So thank you, Lisa, for that card. And then she sent another one because the meetup took place in Indianapolis. So we have this meetup card with all of the attendees on the back. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Lisa. All right, next card, another World Postcard Day card. Surprise, surprise. This one comes from Kristen in Texas. Great to hear from her. So she said, so glad to be writing on this year's celebration. And I hope your mailbox is overflowing, so thank you. I hope it is overflowing for you as well. Look at the cancellation mark there from Pasadena. That is cool. Like that. I think I may overuse the word cool too much in my videos, so if I do, I apologize. Sometimes I just need to come up with, maybe I should have a thesaurus with me here, or get some other words out to express my interest in these cards. Well, the next card comes from Monty in Saskatchewan. Here we have the Prince and Princess and their prenuptials. This card came out a little while ago. He said he got this in a backlot of a haul of cards that he bought. So I thought he would send it to me. And he's continued with the royal theme on the back. There we've got the King Charles III stamp on there. And then we have some of our previous monarchs. Yeah, really love that stamp. I love that series that came out at that period of time. Not that the others aren't great, but I have an affinity for those stamps that came out back then. And then we've got some other stickers and things. So thank you, Monty, for that. The next one is another World Postcard Day. Probably one of my favorites. It was one of the ones that was created. I love how people create their own these days rather than going with the current ones that are always come out. I've showed so many of them right now. Nice cards, and I appreciate the artists that create it, but I like the fact that people are creating their own and sending it out because it means that you're getting such a variety out there. And this is no exception. This comes from Nicole, Mustard and Pickles Post in Ohio, in the United States. There she is with her cards. I love the fact that it is black and white and with a touch of color. I also like the fact that the story on the side is very, well, it could be changed and done a bunch of different things on there. So thank you so much. And Nicole, she put on some amazing stamps. Look at that Ringling Brothers show stamp. I'd gotten some recent postcards of the Ringling Brothers, so that's kind of have a nice addition there. Really, really like it. There's some other nice stamps there as well too. But thank you so much, Nicole, for your friendship and for that card. Hopefully you enjoyed your polo card that you got. All right, this next card is another World Postcard Day card. This one comes from Basil in India. And so you can see the post box there and the animals going to do the post. And he was fortunate enough to, I'll show you the stamps. I really like this one. It's a letter carrier one. This is a series of stamps that came out that depicted heroes during the COVID-19. And in India, the letter carriers were considered heroes. So a lot of the time you get fire, you get military, you get police, ambulance. Those are your heroes. Those are the frontline workers. Letter carriers sometimes don't get the mention, so I appreciate that in India they did. And he got a World Postcard Day stamp creation there, a cancellation that was created by a local Goan. And he actually had a post office that he could mail on the Sunday, October the 1st, which most places are closed, but he had a place that he could go to where he could do it. So thank you, Basil. All right, this next envelope comes from Mariana, and she's in Montreal, in Canada here. There's this stamp, and she reached out to me to get a trade, and she went above and beyond because I was expecting one card. I said, send me a surprise. I don't like to pick out the cards and things like that ahead of time. So she says it was her prerogative to change the swap if she wanted to. So she sent a few different things. One, she sent this beautiful sticker, Ukraine sticker for freedom here, and the love symbol, the heart in the middle. So that, and she makes this stuff. She sent this of her town. So this is where she is from originally before she relocated to Montreal a little over a year ago. She says there's a river that runs through it, but there's some facts on it. I will have to look it up on the map a little bit more to see precisely where she is. She says she made vinyl stickers at home, but she's also made this card, and it is blank, so I can send it off. There's a little sticky just telling me some information on it, but it can be sent off. And she created this card as well. Beautiful artwork. And yeah, she could get in the business of selling these for sure. And she's created it nicely on the back too. Kind of her brand on the back, and space for the place and your ID for your address and things. So thank you very much, Mariana. I hope we have many more swaps in the future. And I am glad to know somebody else and have another pen friend. Thank you so much. All right, next card comes from Lithuania. And we have another postal hug one. This comes from Skystia. And she went to a meetup, and look at all the people that were in attendance. And there are the stamps. So, yeah, won't share anything else that's back there, but thank you so much, Skystia, for that World Postcard Day, and I hope you had a great time at the meetup. And she asked about meetups here. We don't have them very frequently. We had them the last 2 years, once each summer, and both because Sophia in Montreal came down and organized them. We did a little bit through me, and I was able to spread the word for them, but that's about it. There's no other events that are happening right now. All right, next card comes from Dave, and he is in the United States, in Illinois, and so he sent this card. It was interesting about Dave. I pulled his address from Post Crossing, and I got to send him an official card. So that was kind of nice to pull someone that I knew. And it's happened twice, not to Dave both times, but two different people that I know. Monty as well in Canada. I sent him a card as an official. Dave had some misfortune. There was a tornado that came through and destroyed their camper. So he had some work to do there and dealing with insurance companies and all blah, blah, blah. But glad that Dave is okay, his family's okay, and he's gotten a new camper so he can go and start enjoying other adventures. There are the stamps on it. So thank you so much, Dave, for reaching out and letting me know that you're okay. This next one is a beautiful Beatles card. This comes from Katja in Sweden. And she says it's starting to get a little colder there. She actually sent me a message that they'd gotten their first snowfall, even though it wasn't going to stick around. It says it's moose hunting season, so it means she's got to be more careful when she goes for a walk in the woods. And there are the stamps. A very nice dragon stamp. And I really like the Beatles card. It's not an image that you see a lot of the Beatles, so I appreciate getting that. Thank you, Katja. This next card, World Postcard Day card. This one comes from Jane in South Carolina, and she also has put that stamp that we talked earlier about, and put some nice fall decorations on there. So thank you so much, Jane, for that. And it says, hope you have a great Thanksgiving on the 9th. Yeah, we did. It was a nice Thanksgiving we had up here in October. Just last weekend now. It seems like it's so long ago, but yeah, we had a nice Thanksgiving. All right, this next envelope comes from my friend Louis in Spain, and there are the stamps, and it is a birthday card message. So break out your Spanish translator, There is the card, and in it he has included some stickers for the Unicorn Gang, and just some fun little stickers to go there, and a nice message inside that I'll keep for myself. So thank you, Lewis, for remembering and sending a card. I can tell you right ahead of time that I am not going to be as good with everybody's birthdays out there. There's so many people, and I have a hard time keeping track of it. So if I notice it, if it gets posted on, say, Instagram or something that is your birthday, I usually will reach out that way. But I'm very hard at remembering ahead of time in order to put a card in. So those of you who have done it with me, I really appreciate it, because I know how hard it is to keep track of those sort of things. All right, this next one, I'm gonna need something to open this up with, I think, maybe. This one comes from Kyler in Prince Edward Island. First, check out the older stamps that he's used. He always puts a nice variety. He has included this nice sunflower one here. He says, happy belated birthday. Hope you had a special day, Kyler. He's decorated with beautiful washi tape. A really nice card, really like that image. And then he has included this. So I sent him a thank you for receiving it, but I haven't opened it. Now, let's open it now. It's the size of postcards, so I'm assuming it's going to be postcards. Now, if you've seen my channel before, and you've seen what Kyler has sent me before, sometimes I have to block out certain images. So we're going to see what kind of images he sent, and luckily, there's a stack of postcards. I get to see them first. Oh, wow. Before sending them to you, we have King Charles and Queen Camilla. And Charles, oh, I'm sensing a theme. These are all great. These are all blank postcards too, so they're gonna get to go out. That's the beautiful princess. Princess Anne. She recently came to Moncton, so I got to do a video about her and her coming to town. Our dearly departed queen. The Queen of Diamonds. Oh, I like this one here with all the guards, the inspection of the guards. And the Prince and Princess. The Prince when he had hair. I remember those days. The other Prince. We don't talk about Harry, no. But there are the two of them on their wedding day too, Harry and Meghan. So thank you so much for all those blank postcards. I know there's lots of people out there that collect royal postcards, and when I get them, they're super special, but because they're blank, I'm gonna make sure that they're super special for somebody else's collection as well. So thank you, Kyler. You did great. All right, next card comes from Media in Finland, and she went off to a meetup, Espoo, and there are all the people that were in attendance. Quite a few people showed up, and I really like this fish stamp for some reason. It's really cute. There's the extra postage stamp that you get. If you see those from Finland, that's what it is, the extra postage to mail it here. So we have that. And then she also sent me this envelope with these stamps. It's funny that most of the envelopes that she sends, the stamps don't get canceled for some reason. And in it, she sent me a Batman Lego card talking about what she is doing. And then we have a circular card. And then she spent a whole day at the ice arena, going to enjoy figure skating. And this card that she spent, and she went to watch a basketball game and go to the theater. So she does all sorts of amazing things. Thank you, Media, for all the variety of cards. As I told you, I really like this circular one. One, because it's an unusual size card. Not that the other cards aren't great, but that's what sticks out for me, is that it is an unusual shape. All right, now we got some cards. And I say some because there's more than one that have come from this individual. And this comes from Erin in Colorado in the US. And she says, happy World Postcard Day. And so these are new release stamps from the US Postal Service. Life is magnified. So you can see here, this is a really up close image of some different things. Flame lily pollen. blue button organism. I had to make sure I said that word right. Freshwater snail tongue. So there you go. Things up close, magnified. She wasn't done there. She sent this one here, A Day of the Dead, getting ready for Halloween. She sent this on October the 10th, so not that long ago, 10 days ago. It says, hope you are well, and autumn has arrived in Colorado, even more beautiful than usual. So I'm sure all their trees have beautiful colors like ours do as well. And there are the stamps, nice variety once again. And then she sent this envelope. There are the stamps. Nice variety, nice spooky ones up there for Halloween. And then inside, she has sent a note. So congratulations on your upcoming milestone of 1,000 subscribers, which I have passed, so thank you so much. How does it feel knowing you are helping this hobby spread around the globe? Here are some postcards for you to use or give away as you please. Thanks for the education and entertainment. Thank you so much. That was sent on September 23rd, so it took a little while to get here. So yes, since that time, the milestone of 1,000 subscribers has been reached, and my birthday has been reached. And yeah, it's strange to get messages from around the world knowing that people are watching this. People have gotten inspired by this channel to start post crossing, which I guess is the whole key. Let me show you some of these postcards. Isn't that cool with all the planets? And this one, I know some people that might want to get a unicorn card. This is kind of a tinny one. It's got a paper back on it, but it is a tin front. That is really cool. Rocky Mountain National Park in Colorado. We have this more magical card. And another one, the genie. Aladdin-esque. So wonderful cards, all blank. So they are going to go back out into the world. As I've stated before, if you send me blank cards, then they're going to end up going back into the world for others to enjoy as well. So I get to enjoy them for a little bit and then send them off. All right, next card is a birthday card that comes from France. It is a unicorn card. Bon anniversaire. So thank you so much. It comes from Ambre in France. And she says, I know this postcard is atrociously kawaii, but I heard somewhere that you belong to the Unicorn Gang. So happy birthday. And there is unicorns there. There is another one of the Disney stamps. She's been sending me the Disney 100s, which is fantastic. And the yellow train, I meant to look it up. What is the significance of the yellow train that it received its own stamp too? So if you know, write it in the comments. That'll save you from looking it up. Thank you for all that. And thank you for the fantastic birthday card. This next envelope comes from Lithuania. It comes from Skyestia. So she sent me a card earlier. Here's something else that she sent. It arrived today. It is a birthday greeting. She and her husband, she just recently got married, went to Tunisia for their honeymoon. So she sent me this card from Tunisia. And she's decorated it nice on the back. She has also sent me this Star Wars card because one of the reasons is they went to some of the filming locations from A New Hope, Star Wars Episode 4, which was one of the early, well, it's the very first Star Wars movie to come out in 1977. And yeah, big part of my childhood. She says she has not seen it, but she went to some of the filming locations. Very jealous about that. She also sent some blank cards. We have this one. And we have this one here. This one here has weed symbols on your socks. So it says, love at first sight. You are more than half the tea. Forget about you. I'm not sure what that means. Keep calm and carry on card. And then we have some stickers. Those will all get used. And then, oh, some more cards. This nice winter image. We have this pride card. And then we have a bunch of little post-it note things that say coffee break, work it, deadlines. So all sorts of little post-it notes as well. So we'll find something to use those for. Thank you, Sky Estia, for the birthday present. I appreciate it. This next card comes from Washington, D.C. It's an envelope, actually. And there are the stamps. Different directions of Elvis and the endangered. And in it, I think this is from Ida Marie. So she says she's a fan, and she thought she would send some things to me. If it isn't Ida Marie, I'm going to have you write me a comment, leave me something, tell me about it, so I know for sure that that is your name. I have your address now. I have what looks like your first name. I would like to be able to send a thank you back, so be in touch with me. But she sent me some blank postcards. This is a cute one in the wintertime, mail in a letter. And then this one here, the World Postcard Day card. And there's everybody in attendance at that meetup. And then this, she sent me two of these cards. These come from the Smithsonian. I think the woman should know which box that letter should go to. If she knows she's mailing it out of town, I'm pretty sure that she knows that this one's only for DC proper, and then everything else goes in there. But she's mulling it over. So she sent me all those things, and then she sent me a packet of stamps. So I'm going to show that in another video. You'll have to hold on and see what she sent for that. So thank you, Ida Marie, for reaching out. I got this envelope from Ron in the UK. I really like this long, narrow stamp here, but they're all cool, including the older one here of then Prince Charles and Lady Diana. And all thanks a postie. So yes, thank you to all the members of the postal services in both countries that have touched this envelope and got it to me. And here he sends me a nice card with a nice message inside of the local chopper, helicopter chopper, rescue chopper. And he has also included some stamps that I will wait till a later video to show you. Another one comes from Steve, and Stephen is in Australia. And there we have a nice surf rescue stamp that moves all around. And I'm going to keep this because inside he has included a bunch of things. Let's just take out a couple of them here so I can show you. We have this card, which I think is great. It says, "This is a statue of Trim the cat." So there's the cat right there. So Trim the cat and his pet person, Matthew Flinders. Trim was a very adventurous cat and set out to circumnavigate Australia. Talk about 6 months in a leaky boat. Needless to say, being a very intelligent cat, he was quite successful. But being a humble cat allowed his companion to take all the credit. I think that this shows that cats are superior to humans, and I'm sure that hedgehogs are too. The statue stands outside the Tourist Information Office in Port Lincoln. This town has several other animal statues around the main streets beside the beach. My favorite are those of the famous racehorse and a tuna, playing with a fisherman. So there is a very good perspective of Tim the cat. So thank you, Stephen, for that. He has also sent this postcard, which is beautiful. You can see the algae, the green algae on the rocks, and the mist in over the water. It says, "Greetings from Eyre Peninsula in southern Australia. Australia is famous for its seemingly endless sandy beaches." So this is quite unusual. It's all rocky. Since there are no pine trees visible, at least not in my terrible eyesight, I'm not sure why it's called lone pine, though it may be a reference to the Australian incursion on the beach of Gallipoli in Turkey during World War I, a disastrous event that we remember each year in April. I rather like the mist and the mossy boulders and rocks on the contrast with the red cliffs. I live in Port Lincoln, which is on the Eyre Peninsula, but I've never been to this place. Hope you like it as much as I do. I do. I really like the changing colors, the contrast between the green and the red. Very nice. Now, he did send me all of this stuff too, but I'm going to hold off on showing you what that is because it is stamp related. So we are getting a nice mixture of postcards and stamps in this video. So I'm gonna leave the stamps and his fantastic explanation about those stamps to another video. So that leaves us with the last one I have, and it comes from our friend Eric in Ontario. Subject: Eric seems to send me something every week. First thing I want to talk about is the more affordable traveling notebook. So he has created this little tiny notebook. You can see it's filled with blank pages, except for the first one. And what you're supposed to do is take this envelope, write on one of the blank pages and put a sticker or something on there, and then send it off to somebody else. And they will continue to do that until the notebook is filled, and then they will mail it back to Eric. So I have agreed that I will participate in this, and I will send it off to the next person. And because it's affordable, it's small. So this can go in a small envelope and not cost any extra in postage, which I appreciate, because so many things cost a lot. All right, let's get to the card. So we have this beautiful temple card. It's in Nagasaki, this temple. And it says, "Hello, Your Majesty. There is talk amongst the local neighborhood that your birthday is soon." Well, it was last week. Since this is true, I decided I had to send my king a gift. I hope you enjoy it. What do you give a sick bird on its birthday? So this isn't a riddle because he's given the answer. So what do you give a sick bird on its birthday? A tweet mint. Thank you. It says, "Happy birthday. I was looking at your profile and saw that you like blue cats. So I sent you one." So before I finish this, I want to show you the blue cats that he sent me. So I did put it on my profile. I like blue cat cards. It's really cool. The images are amazing. And it said, this is the best one he could find. I don't think many are born that way. So we have a blue cat. Very cute sense of humor there. It says, "God save the king. Scratch here for last week's answer. Maybe use a coin or something." So he has actually created something that I can scratch. So I am going to use my finger. And in retrospect, I should have probably grabbed a coin. It probably would have been faster. Do you even remember what the riddle was last week? The answer to last week's riddle was artichoke. So I did get it right last week about, so he says, I've got a score of 2 out of 4 so far. So it was a question about what has a heart that doesn't beat. An artichoke has a heart that doesn't beat. This week's riddle, is what has a neck but no head? All right, you guys put your thinking caps on. What has a neck but no head? Well, a guitar has a neck, and the top of it isn't called the head, I don't believe, but the neck of the guitar where your strings and all your frets are. What else has a neck but no head? A nectarine? No. I don't know. We're going to go guitar. See what you guys think. And then he sent me a dad joke. So we're going to get 2 jokes in this one. You got the one about the bird on its birthday. Now you have, why will swords never be obsolete? Why will swords never be obsolete? This one you can use amongst your family if you like. Because they're cutting edge technology. That's why swords will never be obsolete. They're cutting edge technology. So thank you to everybody. I know if you've lasted this long, hopefully you enjoyed the jokes at the end. Thank you, Eric, for keeping us amused with jokes, with riddles. It's great to hear from my loyal subjects in Canada. Yeah. It was a good birthday. You guys have made it an even great birthday by extending it beyond the day into other things. So thank you so much. Hopefully you like this. And tomorrow is That Dad Guy Answers. So don't forget to go into last Saturday's video. Leave me a question so I can answer it for you tomorrow. And we'll go from there. Oh, the other thing, before I let you go, I did get a big box of Lego. Came in from the Lego store online for my birthday. So I'm going to be doing an unboxing of that to show you what I got. So you'll have to wait for that. You wait for that one, wait for the stamp videos. I'll keep you in suspense a little while longer. Have a magical week.
What, Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends?
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?